My coffee.
Good
You didn't-
morning.
Oh, it's Burt. I'm going, Vanessa, how did you just do that?
Good morning.
God.
Room.
Good morning, everyone. We will
Scared the
call
heck out of me.
the Port Authority meeting for May 20th, 2021 to order.
hi.
And we will start.
Sorry, Reggie, go ahead.
Well, we're able to see, talk, and, touch each other.
I just love when you two get along. You really do.
I didn't even notice.
Just love. So we'll call the Port Authority meeting to order. We will have an invocation by Reverend Alan Ho. Is he here? Thank you. Can everyone stand for invocation? And then the pledge.
Yes, and thank you so much for supporting Anchor House as a county, and we just appreciate it while we're out there working. Keeps us going, so let us bow in prayer. Oh, great and gracious God, as we come together this day, we're thankful for your kindness that comes to us through people and even organizations. We know, God, today that as decisions are made and as votes are counted, that we ask for your wisdom, your guidance, your direction, your strength. Thank you for the people in our lives and for the way you use them to encourage us, to build us up, and to help us walk our walk of life and faith. Be with this good body and help us to both celebrate and to work hard together. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now we'll open it up for public comment. Do we have any public comments for Port Authority related business? This officially closes public comment.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mr. Chairman, thank you again for holding this meeting for us today. We've been, of course, as you know, trying to get you back to the port, which we will right after the recess, to make it more convenient both for the port customers and you in terms of the facilities, and have you back there as quickly as possible. We're working with county staff to determine some changes in the schedule in order to not to be in conflict with other meetings that you might have for county businesses, or county purposes, I should say. First off, we have a presentation of scholarships by the Propeller Club. And Matthew Apiece, the president of the Propeller Club, and also the chief commercial officer for the port, is going to be making these presentations to our local students. Yeah, go.
Well.
Close to retirement.
Okay. My name is, as Carlos said, Matty Apiece, and the current president of the Propeller Club, and your chief commercial officer for a few more days, I guess. Thank you, Chairman Bellamy and the rest of the commissioners for giving me the opportunity today to talk about the Propeller Club. Many of you are aware of the Propeller Club, but some of you, some of the newer commissioners may not be just aware of all that we do, so we appreciate the opportunity to talk about it. Okay. I do want to make mention that, throughout this year, due to COVID, we didn't have the opportunity to really meet in person, but we kept meeting via Zoom, and the board kept on having those meetings. So when I go through this short presentation, you're going to see some pictures, okay, here. And a lot of these pictures were the prior year before COVID. So I just want to let you know that, because you obviously will see some pictures without masks.
Good.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
Normal people.
I need these glasses. The Propeller Club is an international club with over 6,000 members. And our club, okay, was established in 2005. This is a picture of the one of our last boards, and we're dedicated to the enhancement and well-being of all maritime community interests. So we're there for the mariners, we're there for the people who unload the ships, okay, the truckers, anybody that has to do with the maritime business. This is what we're dedicated to. And its goal is to educate legislators and the public on the importance of waterborne commerce. We have guest speakers at some of our meetings. This is a shot of Representative Tommy Gregory and Will Robinson, which had attended one of our meetings. And there's many reasons why to join the club. It's a great opportunity for networking. It's a great opportunity to learn more about the maritime community. And we have various different social opportunities throughout the year. Our board members come from many different businesses. This is a list of our current board members. They come from companies like Mosaic, Allied New Technologies, some of our stevedores, and also we have a great representation of the port people. And Carlos has always been very gracious to allow the port people to be involved with the club. So, you know, the club certainly thanks him for that. So in July of 2018, we were down to just about 45 members. And we went on a membership drive, and we wanted to put together some programs that people would want to come out and get involved with, whether it's speakers or social events. And we really had increased the membership. And the membership right now sits at about 127. So we went from 45 to 127 members in a short period of time. And what we're most proud of is that during this past year with COVID, we were able to maintain our membership numbers. We lost a few, but we continue to gain a few. And, you know, I really think that we could be a club that could easily have 150, 175 members. So that's the goal. And I should say that although I'm retiring to my current position of the port, I will remain as president of the Propeller Club, and then after that, past president. So you'll still see me around. Each year, the Propeller Club supports local charitable organizations. Up top, of course, is Anchor House, okay, which is at our port and does a fantastic job in taking care of the mariners. We get involved with other organizations, Meals on Wheels, Boys and Girls Club, FELT, and we're always looking for new organizations to be involved with. You know, we feel that part of our job is to give back to the community, and we always want to do that. And we also support some local schools. Each September, we have a drive where we collect donations, school supplies. And this year, we actually included some cleaning materials. And the past couple of years, we gave these school supplies to James Tillman and Pondview Elementary. And here's a shot of this past year. And they are so appreciative of all these supplies. So we're very proud to continue to support these type of schools, and we will continue with that program and offering as much help as we possibly can. So this is my personal favorite. It's the golf outing. It's we have it every year, and we had the last one last November. And we did it in a very safe manner, and we had over 100 golfers. And we raised over $40,000 and netted $25,000 for our scholarship fund. So it's just unbelievable how the community just backs us on this, and the many businesses around the ports do a great job in supporting us. And this, you know, this goes right back to in the form of scholarships, and you'll see some of those students that are the recipients of those scholarships today. Again, some multiple events. There's a shot of Carlos getting a leadership award the year before COVID, and this Saturday actually is Maritime Day, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So we try to have some sort of event every month, and they do vary and between guest speakers and just strictly social events. And we also work on awareness of maritime job opportunities. These are some of the major needs of our tenants, okay, and forklift driving, heavy equipment care and operating, and those salaries are pretty good. They can average between $16 to $18 per hour without experience, and up to 19 to 24 with experience, and those salaries are going up. And depending on the stevedore or the company at the port, they have some have 401ks and great health plans. So we're working very closely with our stevedores on generating programs that could help support the trades. Okay, it's great that we have we have a good group that goes to college, but it's also important to not forget about the trades and the students that don't always go to college. There's a lot of need for help with that type of individual also. Talking about outreach, we're in discussions with Manatee Technical College, and we're working with them on what they call a quick certification program, where they can put together a program which teach the basics of operating within a port environment, operating within a warehouse, again, heavy equipment training, forklift training, and David St. Pierre, who heads up our Education and Awards Committee, is heavily involved with that. And the next step is we've identified all of the skill sets, okay, and we'll be working to actually put a program together. And we'd like to expand our outreach for technical scholarships. That's one of our goals next year. And we also have a planned future cooperation with the Maritime Academy. So there's a lot that group is working on, and Cynthia Sauter is very supportive from the school system. And each year we get more and more cooperation from the guidance counselors. This year was just unbelievable, the amount of applicants we got, and reading through the applications, I mean, I wish we had the time to really do a deep dive, because these applicants were unbelievable what they did as far as their grades and what they did as far as after-school activities. We've had many awards, okay, in 2019 we were the Southeast Club of the Year, and the Southeast Member of the Year is Virginia Zimmerman, right behind us, okay, who's the Director of Communications, and she was also the International Member of the Year, and that's quite a feat, considering there's over 6,000 members. So that's clubs in the United States and also in Europe. And we followed up the following year with Teresa Doherty, who was a Member of the Year, and this year Abby Lindecker is the Member of the Year, and also very proud to say that David St. Pierre was voted the Maritime Person of the Year for the club. So we continue to get some awards, which we're very proud of. And each year we award this year was $10,000, and there's been many organizations and clubs that couldn't afford to, because of the COVID situation, to give out the awards this year. We were bent on doing it, and we gave out $10,000, and we have three of the recipients right here, and we'd like to have them come up and present the award. And I guess I should go in order of. If we can call up Reagan Williams. Okay, Reagan Williams is from Palmetto High School. Okay. Virginia gave me instructions on this, but I forgot them already. I think you're on the other side.
I'm working on it.
Okay. You may want to hang on. Would you like to say a
Of
couple
course,
words?
absolutely. So I will be attending the University of Florida next year. Go Gators! I am planning on double majoring in interior design and architecture, so I am very excited for that. That's a very rigorous program at the University of Florida, so I know it's going to be difficult, but I also know that I can do it because I've pushed myself through the past year. So I think that I will be able to push myself as well. So I just want to say a big thank you to the Propeller Club, and I'm very excited to see what happens next year.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Next is
Good high school
Madison.
and a good college.
Taylor.
Madison is everywhere I go.
Madison's from Lakewood Ranch High School.
This is part of Faunus. I think we have the wrong Madison. You're Madison Taylor, right?
You want?
Yes, we have the wrong Madison.
Oh, poor thing.
Madison's getting
I
over
think
it.
she's trying to get 2 scholarships. You got the right one here?
I am. This is me.
Okay.
Yes, I think one of this year's requirements is the name has to be Madison. Onto this, we're gonna take a group.
She needs to say a few words.
Yes, thank you so much to the Propeller Club. I will be attending Florida State next year, and I will be majoring in biological sciences. This is definitely going to help a lot. So thank you to the president, and thank you to the entire club. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
And now the other Madison. Oh, no, we have Kayleen.
Aileen?
No, Madison.
Oh, Madison, it's not you.
No, it's not you, Madison.
Why don't you
No.
give her?
This young lady's gonna hate us.
She might need 2 or 3 after all this.
We have to give Madison some extra money.
Yeah, Steve.
Sorry about that, Madison. At least we all know who you are.
Okay.
Next year, I will be going to Florida Gulf Coast University and majoring in psychology, and I would like to again thank the Propeller Club so much for this scholarship.
And what high school?
Oh, I'm at Manatee High.
Okay, good.
Go Canes, go.
And we apologize, I guess we're short one check, but
Madison.
Madison, please come up here. Okay?
That actually made it exciting.
So many Madisons.
Give her another $100.
Poor Madison.
They really? Oh my God. This can't happen.
Checks in the mail, Madison.
We actually ran out of money, sorry.
My name is Madison Burt. I am currently a senior at Manatee High School, and I will be attending the University of Florida in the fall to be an engineering major. Thank you so much to the Propeller Club for this scholarship. It means everything to me, so thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, standing ovation for Madison.
Stand up for the picture.
You think we ought to stand up for the picture?
Stand up.
Then the chairs are on the way.
We're done. Oh,
You may want to move the mic up.
Bike
no,
and
this is
chairs.
okay. This is better.
Yeah. And the
Carol,
mic.
you're tighten up that.
Oh, well, are we supposed to?
Picture just for you.
Stop being complicated.
There you go.
Where's the chair?
Right, a lot of chairs.
There, come here. Reggie, get in the middle.
Hold on, need the chair in the
Come
middle.
on, get in the middle. I'm not moving.
Thank you.
I like being next to Reggie. Just don't break the gavel.
Most people at least look tall.
Maddie, you better get that check.
Okay, before we move, do we have any comments from the commissioners on the presentations? Commissioner Ball.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to congratulate all of the recipients. I know it's a lot of hard work, and good luck with your future next year. And it's a great time in Manatee County for sure. So I'm very proud of all of you. Maddie.
Madison.
Not yet.
I can't imagine.
Madison or Maddie?
I got to do it. I got to say, you know what? I've enjoyed working with you. The 3 years that I was the port chair was wonderful. You've always been so helpful. You've always been such a professional, and I just wish you the best with your retirement. To you and your wife, you guys go and have some fun.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Appreciate it.
on
Thank
that.
you.
Commissioner Whitmore.
I do have one more thing. It's in regards to Maritime Day. If I can read something honoring that day. Whereas in peace and in conflict, seafarers and ocean vessels have held a special place in our nation's history. And whereas we as a people and as a nation owe a depth of gratitude to those seafarers who have served us. And whereas this nation continues to benefit from the dedication, loyalty, and work of maritime professionals. And whereas Manatee County and its citizens have garnered significant economic and environmental benefits from Port Manatee and the maritime industry. And whereas on May 22nd, 1819, the American steam vessel SS Savannah sailed from Savannah, Georgia to Liverpool, England, commencing the first successful crossing of the Atlantic Ocean using steam propulsion. And whereas by joint congressional resolution passed in 1933, May 22nd was designated as National Maritime Day. And whereas during World War II, more than 250,000 members of the American Merchant Marines served their country, with more than 9,750 giving their lives, hundreds being detained as prisoners of war, and over 800 ships being sunk or damaged while providing a wide range of supplies to the troops. May 22nd, 2021 is hereby designated, recognized, and set aside as National Maritime Day. The Propeller Club of the Port of Manatee requests that you join us in this special observation and recognition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We do have another commissioner comment, a few more commissioner comments. Commissioner Whitmore?
I just want to say this is the first time ever that I ever heard a presentation on the Propeller Club since I've been in office. So thank you very much. I did not even realize you gave scholarships. So I learned a lot today. I appreciate it. And your focus is also on the ships and the staff that come off the ships for food, telephones, and all that, so they have a place to go to get away from the ship. Do you want to just talk a little bit about that? Because you didn't mention that, but I just wanted to say it was really good. I'm glad to see all the great things you're doing in our community as well.
Yeah, we really love supporting the Anchor House. Personally, I eat there two times a week, right?
Yeah.
With my tuna fish and in a bowl for $5. You can't beat it. And it's a great opportunity. And the Anchor House, they'll take via their van to the seafarers that come off the ship if they need to go to Costco, they need to go to Walmart. They have an opportunity to have some Bible sessions. Trish Allagood would go on the ship, and hold some services. Plus, they can use the computer. It's a place for them to have a good meal, a good hot meal, and gather and just rest and reflect. And I've always enjoyed going there. The Propeller Club has always supported them and will continue to support them because what they do there for our mariners. And don't forget, we're talking about Maritime Day, but throughout this whole past year, the mariners didn't stop. They continued to deliver all the goods that came off those ships. So it wasn't a situation that they stopped. And some of these mariners were stuck on ships, for 50, 60, 80, 100 days. So it's not an easy job. So we're lucky to have a great organization like the Anchor House that really supports them.
And I've known you since you were hired, and I want to thank you. We worked really hard, kind of what Chair Baugh had said when I was chair on the PASHA group. We still have a relationship with them out of California. Their ships now transport back and forth to Hawaii, but we still keep in contact with them, and that was all because of your relationship. So you've done a good job, and you will be missed.
I appreciate that, and I guess I look back and I said, you finally, everybody's got my name right, Matty. Stop calling me Marty and Manny, and then I'm retiring.
He meant that for me. He meant that for me.
Commissioner Serbia?
Yes, thank you, Maddie. You did a great job today with your presentation. And thank you to Carlos for supporting the Propeller Club, you know, and allowing Manatee to be a part of this international group. And it really does help to bring, you know, the recognition to Port Manatee and the maritime industry. And congratulations to the students. I wish you guys the best. You're about to enter a really exciting time in your life. Good job.
Yeah, right. Okay, that concludes that. We'll go to the next item on the agenda, which is employee recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. We're not going to let Matty go that easy.
I know, right?
In fact, he's going to be with us through June 30th. And today we're announcing not only Matty's retirement, but Matty's replacement, who's here also today. And that's Charles Tillerson. He's going to be coming up in a few seconds. But first with Matty, you know, I've known Matty since I was about 25 years old, working for Corning Glass back in Corning, New York. And Matty would come down to the frozen tundra in upstate New York, and he would be, you know, asking for Corning to give him containers to carry, you know, on the ships, and that was the performance of his measure. But he grew exponentially in the industry over the years, having reached very senior positions at global shipping companies. But our paths essentially started, you know, to cross. He would be at, you know, one company, and I would even, when I was at the Port of Everglades, go and then call on them for that business, and then, you know, tropical shipping in Palm Beach. And so, you know, it's really a fact that if you stay in this business long enough, you know, all the good people remain, but at some point they want to rest. And at some point they want to enjoy their summer home, you know, in Cape May, New Jersey. Very envious of that, that he can then, you know, recharge his batteries, and I'm sure we'll be seeing him again in other roles in the area. I don't think he's leaving Florida, you know, just to move to New Jersey. So with that, I would like to present, as we traditionally do, a recognition award to Matthew Apiece. So again, it's the bell that we also present to commissioners upon their chairmanship ending or a commissioner essentially retiring. So again, without any further ado, I'm going to have Matthew say a few words about his business, and you know, then I'll introduce his replacement. I'm sorry.
You got to ring the bell.
June 30th.
Okay.
Okay.
Want to say a few words?
Sure. Don't let this scare you. Yeah, it's funny, last night we had a Propeller Club event at the Marauders game, and which went very well, and the month before we had a event at the Motorworks. So last night, towards the end of the game, it was myself and Charles and my wife, and you know, I talked about getting this bell, and my wife said, "What are we going to do? Where are we going to put it?" So I said, "Well, maybe what we can do is that when it's dinner time, I can ring the bell, and then you can come get me." And Charles looked and said, "Oh my!" And my wife kind of, you know, you have to know my wife. She's very calm. She said, "Well, we can talk about that." But, you know, a lot of people are saying, you know, what are you going to do when you retire? And, you know, I kiddingly say, well, it's part of it's whatever my wife wants me to do. You know, and being, you know, it's 45 years this year that I'm in this business, and you know, married for 40 years this year. So I certainly learned to listen to her. So she said to me, "There's one thing, if you do anything, I want you to do today." And I said, "Okay, I will do that for you." And about 9 years ago, you know, our family, you know, we had a, you know, some serious medical situations. And, you know, Manatee County really stepped up, okay? They stepped up then, they stepped up now, and they'll continue to step up for us. So, you know, one of the first things that happened was, you know, Dave McDonald had turned over some vacation time, okay, to me. And Carlos then had said, hey, whatever time you need, you take. But I have to take a moment here to say thank you to, well, right now, your pharmacy tech is Vanessa Rennie, okay? And she's just been fantastic, okay? I mean, there's sometimes we've gotten some calls, and I'm like, oh, what are we gonna do now? And, you know, you call Vanessa and Chris, you know, Chris before her. They've been fantastic, and the clinical pharmacy is Alma Leon, okay, so thank you, Alma. And the supervisor is Angela Sane, and Leslie Strickland is the manager. And also some other names, you got Debbie Minstrel and Jennifer Ruiz, and also, of course, Catherine Pettick, who's been very great, you know, with the retirement benefits. But there's some names that you may remember back, you know, Robin, do you remember Robin? Okay, and Chris. I mean, Robin and Chris used to call every week just to check on us. So that meant the world to my family and the world to my wife. So she wants to say thank you to Manatee County for all of that support over the years. It's much appreciated. I want to take the time to thank Carlos and Dave for allowing me to go out there and get some business. And, you know, sometimes I've given them, not sometimes, a lot of times, gray hair. So, you know, we've had some good times. I mean, as you know, over the years, we've increased our diversification at the port. And, you know, right now we're in a situation where, you know, warehouses are full, and, you know, we have to put down more pavement, and we got a lot of projects going on. So, you know, it's we've been able to lock up a majority of our tenants for many years, so we're in pretty good shape. I'd like to thank my staff that has worked with me and for me. You guys have been fantastic. I can't really look at you because I guess this is kind of strange here, but and also my fellow directors. Okay, I mean we work hand in hand, and you know, we certainly have a lot of laughs. Okay, I appreciate that, and you know, with somebody like, you know, Denise, you know, thank you. I mean, for 10 years I've marched into your office, and you've always looked up and smiled and never threw me out, you know, yet. Okay. So I'd like to thank the directors. I also like to take the opportunity to, you know, the staffs of the security staffs and the maintenance staffs. I mean, in order to bring in business, you know, it takes a whole group to keep this business and to make it work. So, you know, I do appreciate that, and I want to make, you know, a note of that. And I also apologize to J-Law over the years for all of the complicated contracts I've given you. Okay, so they've been, you know, they've been difficult, but we've gotten through them, right? And we've always strive with our customers. I mean, you got to, for a win-win situation. So I want to take the opportunity publicly to thank our customers that have actually supported the port and myself over the years. So sincerely, thank you very much. I'll be around as the Propeller Club. We welcome you to get involved with our functions, and we got a lot of good work to do when it comes to jobs over the next couple of years, and we'll continue to do that. And a lot of exciting things happening on the scholarship ends too. So we'll keep you posted. And thank you.
Okay, yeah, we're glad. Before we go to the introduction, we do have a comment coming from Commissioner Servia.
Oh, yes. Maddie, congratulations, and
Thank you.
thank you, and I wish you the best on your retirement. I just want to say that you can always spot a great leader when it's time to recognize that person. What they do is they recognize everybody else. So thank you for doing that. That was very nice, and Manatee County is a great place to work. And thank
Certainly
you for
is.
acknowledging that, and we wish you the best.
Thank you.
Commissioner Ball?
Yeah, it's a little emotional, and I say that because I know how close of a family you all are. So you're going to be missed.
Thank you.
She said it for all of us.
Right.
So will you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for everything. Now we'll have the introduction. Carlos?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Maddie, you might want to reconsider. You can stay here a few more months. You know, we can, given the commissioner's support you have.
30 days?
Yeah, 30 more days, easy. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, commissioners. You know, as you can tell, and thank you for your kind comments, you know, it's really a camaraderie and the way that, of course, we utilize the share that we do with the county in terms of the Port Authority and the county, and the insurance that then we receive through the county process is one of our tools to attract good employees. You know, we use that. So as Maddie, you know, kind of summarized very well. Now, well, Maddie leaving, we have a new Chief Commercial Officer. And a Chief Commercial Officer is just what it says. It's, you know, essentially head salesman for the company, responsible for attracting new businesses, retaining businesses. And of course, one of our candidates was one of our own, the Chief Commercial Officer for one of our own customers, Carver Maritime. And so, you know, he applied, and, you know, at the end of the day, we had maybe about 15 applications. Charles Tillerson came up heads and shoulders above everybody else. His resume is spectacular. We can match it up against anybody, very well-rounded, private sector, a lot of private sector mostly in his background, and all mostly related to ports and maritime. So I'd like to introduce your new Chief Commercial Officer, Charles Tillerson.
Good morning. So I am Charles Tillerson, currently working for Carver Companies, a tenant here on the port. I think first off, I would like to thank Carlos and his senior staff for actually selecting me for the position. It was a tough decision for me. I mean, obviously Carver Companies is a big organization on the port now, and the owner, Carver Laraway, you know, I had butterflies in my stomach for about 2 weeks just thinking about telling him and wondering if he's going to chop my head off. But it actually turned out really well. You know, I was able to sell the fact that I would just be moving from one office to another office, and I would still be, you know, a asset to Carver Companies, as well as all of the other stevedores and terminal operators in the port. I know all of them extensively now, so I think that it's actually going to be a really, really good and smooth transition for me. I would also just like to note that I've known Maddie for years, and he is going to definitely be a tough act to follow. And just listening to the commission today, the bar is going to be pretty high for me. So I'm looking forward to taking that challenge on. I will be sworn in to the Propeller Club, so you will see me, you know, following in his footsteps as well. So with that said, thank you for having me, and I'm really excited to get started.
Yes, you do have a comment. Commissioner Ball.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
It's a great ship to be on. You know, and you're really joining a great family. I know I mentioned it earlier, and to see part of the family leave is always tough. But that's what makes Port Manatee so special, is the family that works there together as a team. And I'm sure that you're going to be a great asset to the port. Look forward to working with you, and welcome aboard.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Commissioner Sancher.
Welcome aboard. Excited to have you. And so I just wanted to say to Maddie and to you, thank you for your support, especially for the Anchor House. You know, this port brings in a lot of economic benefit to this area. And so we appreciate that. We understand. And we're so grateful for what you do. But then, you know, when you can help people mind, soul, and body, that's a good thing. So we appreciate that and look forward to continued support there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll just say welcome. I'll just say welcome. Thank you to Maddie for all the things that you've done to make an impact upon the port. And just, you basically said it, you got some big shoes to fill. But we extend our congratulations and, you know, your continued success. And obviously, we do expect things to continue to move forward and get a little bit better out there. Thanks for everything.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. All right, thank you.
Maddie, ring the bell.
Yeah.
Bell.
We want to hear it at least one. Okay, we'll go to the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. We would look for your consideration to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as recommended.
Second.
We got a motion on the board and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion has been approved. We will move to item number 4, Manatee County Port Authority Procurement Policy.
Thank you. You know, we have, as you could tell in the agenda item, revised significantly a procurement policy totally from A to Z. Jennifer Cowan, your attorney, is going to be making a few remarks with regard to the changes that have been made and how this adapts the port to more modern procurement procedures and brings us forth, you know, to be in line with other county purchasing processes and also with the clerk's office, but again, that reviews all of our purchases.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So the port's procurement policy was actually 16 years old, so it was in need of revision, yes. So many of the revisions that were made were just to go ahead and recognize the current changes that had happened in law. Many also to recognize the technological advances. Back when this was originally created, there weren't as many electronic filings, there weren't electronic marketplaces, and there are now. And so this policy captures that. And then the third goal, really, of this policy was to bring it in line with Manatee County as close as possible for what works with the port. And so I'm not going to go through all the changes because we would be here all afternoon, although I'm happy to answer any questions. I will go through a few of the changes. Some are described in the cover sheet. Basically, there's an increase in the spending threshold and refunds that can be authorized by the executive director. There are no changes, though, to the thresholds that require competitive solicitation. So you're still going out at that same threshold and keeping things very competitive in the marketplace. There's a clear delineation of authority and process that's required depending on the expenditure. There's an explanation and delineation of the process and criteria that are specifically governed under Florida statutes. And there's recognition of grants and the associated requirements with those, with private and public partnerships, and again, the statutory criteria for that, and that's in line with the county's process. And then the purchasing mechanisms, such as like P cards and purchase orders, have been identified in here and how those are utilized at the port. And then the last thing the policy did is you had 3 different policies, so you had a procurement policy, a refund policy, and your financial policies, and we put them all together here in one policy. And that's really the essence of what's changed here. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Commissioner Satchel.
What was the old limit? What was the limit before?
On the limit for the spending threshold,
Executive director.
so it was 50,000 before, and it's 200 is what's before you. 200,000, yeah.
Carol says that all the time.
Any more questions?
I mean, that's,
Comment?
yeah, I just want to make a comment, that's about normal.
Right.
I mean, 50,000 is what it was?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And how long ago was it updated?
16 years
That's-
ago.
That reflects
that's a
those
long
16
time. That's-
years of
yeah.
working, being addressed. So.
What does what does our administrator have the authority of? I think we've always tried to make the port jive with the
500,
county.
I think it's 500,000 is
Oh,
the
okay, well,
county
we'll stay at
administrator.
200 then. Okay.
Commissioner Ball.
Carlos, this is your time if you want more.
A crane is
I think, yeah, I think it's at a $500,000 because we did reduce it from what it had been. I just don't recall the numbers off the top of my head, so.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the revised Port Authority procurement policy.
Got a motion on the board and there's a second. Do we have to open this up for public comment? Do we have any public comment? That closed. That closed public comment, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? And that is approved. Carlos?
Thank you very much. Moving right along here. The next item, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, is regarding the essentially announcing the mask, COVID mask update. We are aligning also our same policies with the county to order to expedite and to harmonize what you already have that you approved a week or so ago. So we'll look again to confirm this directive from the Port Authority, which is consistent with your direction at the county.
So moved.
Second.
We had a motion and a second. And do we have a comment?
Carlos, our county administrator is providing masks for employees and visitors. Are you doing the same?
Absolutely, Commissioner. We watch your meetings carefully, and we take notes, and we have seen, and we are also, in fact, we didn't start opening it up until we had the masks on hand to be able to have them available to any customer or employee that desired to use them.
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Ball?
You made me think of something. See, now you got a question. Has the port thought about trying to get a vaccine clinic there for our employees at the port?
Good question. Not only that, but as you will see later from Anchor House, we're giving vaccines, or they're giving vaccines to the seafarers. Because in their Florida provisions, anyone who brings goods or services to the state of Florida and its citizens is entitled to get a vaccine. However, the employees, of course, have come under, and every company there have come under already the, I think, very significant vaccine opportunities. And anyone at the port who wants to be vaccinated has been vaccinated already.
All right, thank
So
you.
very, and we provide, of course, the time without any taking it off the clock to any employee that wanted to go get vaccinated right away as soon as possible. So,
Thank you.
right. Thank you.
Commissioner Whitmore?
It must be Johnson & Johnson then, right? Because if they don't come back to our port, you can't get them in 28 days.
Well, some of these sailors do come back, by the way. Some of them repeat, but in fact, as you have today, the Anchor House organization that is going literally on board, they can provide additional explanations as to how they're managing that, because we didn't get into that detail, but it's a good question that came up yesterday, how do we get them the second dosage? Yeah.
Any more comments? Do we have any public comments? So we have a motion on the board. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Nay. And that motion passes? The chair voted nay. Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He's consistent. Okay, we'll go to the executive director comments.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I would like to mention, though, before the comments, that we are planning to have you back at the port at, right after your recess, so we can resume and provide the opportunities for the port customers to see you and to meet with you and to talk to you. At the end of the day, you are their board of directors, too. And the port as a business, looks to the board of directors, which is, again, the Port Authority, to run its business, and having the customers see you there is a comforting thought for them. Make sure that, we are progressing as a port and as a port authority. So with that, let me transition into some of the highlights or comments, as you said, that we've had. Again, going back to the recent headlines, the port's delivery of fuel was not interrupted by the pipeline. The port has a large customer called Transmontana at the port, which provides fuel literally from College Avenue all the way essentially to Lee County and Fort Myers. It's a large area and growing. So Racetrack, Speedway, Wawa, Love's, and others are supplied right by the port. So it's a significant undertaking and critical, especially in these times. But the port remained open, and in fact, during hurricanes, the delivery of fuel becomes even more important. The port does not close. The only time that delivery of fuels are not made would be because that company or the Florida Highway Patrol determines it's too dangerous for those tanker trucks to be on the road. But that's a critical component of our mission at the port. One of our companies at the port, World Direct Shipping, continues to grow. In fact, they're headquartered in Manatee County. They are now about the 20th largest container company, importing company in the U.S. from zero a few years ago. And so, it's a significant feat and accomplishment because that helps us put us on the map. And this company keeps on adding additional ships to their service, which in essence is making us one of the fastest growing ports in Florida in containers. We're very, very close now to other ports north of us, within a few containers, and so we're expanding, as you know, that area, that part of the business, because that's how cargo moves. And what we were talking before with Maddie, the non-interruption of goods and services, that comes by ship. About 98% of everything we buy generally comes in by ship. So it's a huge impact. Planes are too expensive as cargo deliveries, but containers move things around the world, of course, including everything that we buy, generally speaking, except for fresh groceries that are coming in, well, even those by containers from Del Monte or World Direct Shipping, but hard goods, television sets, refrigerators, washers, etc. So very significant accomplishment for World Direct Shipping. It's not just all about ships, it's about also yachts. We are in an industry that can carry everything on boats. These came from China, delivered to this company that Marimax that does, chartering of yachts throughout the Caribbean and the U.S. And so it's the diversity of cargoes that makes it interesting. One of the objectives that I have is also to go and look for some yacht maintenance and repair, large players in the globally speaking that can bring additional business for our tradespeople in the yacht industry in Manatee County. So that's an objective that, concurrent with these yachts, gives us the opportunity to look for additional business. Talk about security, very secure port. In fact, as you will read there, not only are we training Port of Tampa, we're training the Coast Guard, and we train the FBI. Okay? So if you hear any comments about how secure the port is, just show them this slide.
That's right.
We train the FBI in port security. Okay, so it's no small feat. They consider your port a very, and we go ahead, David? Yeah. And David St. Pierre, our Director of Security, as really a leading authority globally, even putting the training of their FBI agents and Coast Guard agents in our hands. So it's a big responsibility, and they're all there with their certificates, So I think it's an honor to have such a team at the Port and Security that is globally renowned. And, even the federal agencies rely upon us to expand their capabilities and training in this area. Again, we continue to try to our outreach with MARAD and with other federal agencies and the local delegations of senators and congressmen. They were there at the port, making sure they're aware of what's going on, because we do want to expand the port dramatically over the next few years, expanded both north and south, in keeping with the expansion that we see in housing and residents, both south of us, north of us, and east and west of us. You know, container ports and ports expand based greatly on the expanding population. We need to provide those services. We don't want those trucks to be coming in all the way from Georgia or from, let's say, other states around us. So if the ports can come in and accommodate that need, then the delivery of those products is much faster, cheaper, and more environmentally friendly. And this is just a reiteration of the mask. For your edification, we have this mask policy now, adapted just a few seconds ago, and so we'll be implementing that as of today. Here's a photo of Anchor House providing a vaccination. So this is just a couple of days ago, right? This
Last week.
last week. Last week. Okay, so again, anyone, according to the state of Florida, anyone who delivers goods or services to the residents of Florida is entitled to a vaccine. So that's what we have done. So it's a large, I mean, again, as Maddie said, the global mariners, you know, are heroes in terms of delivering those services and those goods that we buy globally and moving the fuel from, you know, one coast to the other. So it's a big undertaking. And Anchor House, you know, stepping up, not just with, let's say, spiritual support and any assistance they would need, but even vaccines, which is really, you know, kind of a leadership in that regard. And those are my remarks. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Whitmore.
Real quick, Vern Buchanan brought Representative Schuster down a few years back, and he oversaw transportation, Mariner. And one thing that he recognized from us that no other ports, California, all over the United States, is the TWIC card. We have the TWIC card, but and we have the reader, where most ports don't have the reader. So what's the point? So did that ever, he was very impressed that Port Manatee actually did that. Do you know if it's gotten better all over the country?
I believe it's gotten better. I think the mandate came down that, you know, ports needed to buy the technology. It's all about technology, buying the technology to be able to have those TWIC cards read. But you're right, Commissioner Whitmore, for the longest time, we were the only compliant port, federally compliant port, because we had the TWIC cards, which are mandated, and the readers.
Which weren't
So
mandated.
we were ahead of that, and I think as you could see by that presentation, even the FBI comes here for training, so, you know. It shows that they don't want to be at a port, I think, that is not compliant with federal regulations.
Commissioner Ball.
Yeah, you know what, sometimes you just got to give kudos, and today is one of those times. Our security at the port is just fantastic. David, you've done a great job in staying on top of that, because I remember, and I think the only other commissioner that was here at the time was Commissioner Whitmore, where we had to go to St. Pete for a meeting with Port Tampa and FDOT, and that was it was a pleasant meeting for Port Manatee, but not so much, I think, for Port Tampa. We'll just leave it at that. But, you know, for our port, which is really considered one of the youngest ports in the state of Florida, to have gotten to the point that we have in our growth of business and our security staff now basically running courses for all the other ports, and as you said, Carlos, I mean, the FBI, et cetera, that is just a massive feat. So, Dave, you and your staff needs to be thanked for all that you do on that. So thank you. Thank you, Carlos.
Any more comments? And we will go to public comments now. Do we have any public comments on Port Authority business?
Madison?
We don't have a card for you now either. Yeah.
Still waiting for a check.
I know.
And we will close, Steph. And we will close public comments. Commission comments, do we have any? Going once, going twice. There are no commission comments. This officially concludes the Port Authority's meeting.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're just going to take a second here to change over to our land use meeting. Guys, thank you for being here with us today. We always love it.
Vanessa, she
might even
asked
just
for
set it down for a
10
second.
earlier, I don't know.
What?
10 minutes in
Oh,
between.
do you want 10 minutes?
We should
Okay.
recess.
We're going to recess for 10 minutes. Thank you.
Tell me,
She wants 10.
how did you?
Next time.